What's up, guys? This is Juan with Team PPG XFOE. Back at it again with another parking lot deck profile. Taking one from Giancarlo's book. Let's just get into the deck, man. This is a deck that we've been playing for fun. This is the Prismatic Bardock. This deck's pretty cool. This guy, he's permanent. He reduces the combo cost of all multicolor black cards by 1. It also reduces the energy exhaust. When this card attacks, you look at top 5 and add an SS4 card, basically, which is pretty much the whole entire deck. So you can pretty much grab whatever you see from the top of your deck and add it to your hand. You can awaken when you have 3 or less life, or you can simply awaken when you have 3 different colors in your or 4 different colors in your energy. And black is a color. Black does count as a color. When you awaken, you draw 2. Then after he's awakened, he keeps the same permanent. Then when this card attacks, you resolve the effects below. If you have 2 or more colors, it gets 5k, so it becomes a 20k basically. You grab one of your opponent's battle cards, doesn't ignore barrier, but you rest it basically. If you have 3 or more, it basically, you switch one of your energy at the end of your turn, one of multicolor energy, back to active. And lastly, if you have 4 or more, you draw a card, and your opponents, if they have a unison, they remove a marker from it. So it's like a unison killer, because it's already at 20k, so if you swing at a unison, it's pretty cool, because you can go 20k, tap something, remove a marker from the unison, and then remove a marker from the attack. So it becomes pretty clutch sometimes. Aside from that, we play 3 of the 2-drop Vegeta and 3 of the 3-drop Vegeta. The 3-drop Vegeta, basically, when you combo with him, either offensively or defensively, you can pay 1 at the end of the combo, comes into play rested. After that, you can pay 1 black energy and then play a 2-drop. Doesn't have to be the Vegeta, it could be any of the other 2 drops. This guy goes to warp, and then at the beginning of your next turn, he goes back to your hand. So it allows you to do other type of plays. The 2-drop, when you place him on your energy, if you have another black multicolored card, you basically pick a card from your opponent's hand at random, send them to the bottom, and they draw a card. He also is a critical, and also when you play him, it's basically a filter, because you can draw 2, put 1 at the bottom, and then do the same effect as when you charge it. So it's pretty good. And basically you use these guys alongside with the Gokus for your heat infusions, and we'll go into the Gokus. For the Gokus, we do it backwards. We play 4 of the 3-drop and 3 of the 2-drop. For the 3-drop, he has the same effect as the other 3-drop, to where when you combo at the end of the combo step, you can pay 1 and play it. When he comes into play, he basically negates the effect of a unison. So it can be very useful, especially if your opponent's playing like the Boo unison or something like that. Something that it could be pretty annoying. This guy, he also has the same effect as the other one, where you can pay 1, send him to the warp, play a 2-drop, and come back to your hand at the end of at the beginning of your next turn. For this guy, when you place it in your energy from your hand, you choose one of your opponent's battle cards, switch it to rest mode, and if it's a skillless, and then KO it if it's a skillless battle card. I don't really use that effect that much realistically, but you know, it can be useful sometimes. Aside from that, we also play 4 of the counterplay Gohan, the green one, and 3 of the double striker. The counterplay Gohan, you can counterplay for 1 green, obviously, and then if you discard a card, your opponent can only attack with battle cards and unison cards, depending on the amount of energy, different type of colors in their energy. So basically, if they're monocolor, they can only attack once more. If they're dual color, 2 more, so on and so forth. Doesn't affect the leader necessarily, but it's pretty cool because it does affect the unison, so that's pretty good. This guy is a unison killer. When you charge it in your energy, as long as you have another black multicolor card, your opponent takes a marker away. When you play the same thing, and then he's a double striker. All of these guys are 16k, so it becomes pretty good and kind of annoying when you try to, like, majority of the unisons are 15k. There are obviously like 20k, but it's pretty annoying to get rid of them. And these guys, when they're rested, and also, you know, when you're attacking a unison, it's just pretty good. For the red ones, we play 3 of the 3-drop, 4 of the 2-drop. The 3-drop, basically, when you put it in your energy, if you have another black multicolor card, he takes 2k power away from one of your opponent's battle card. It does ignore barrier. So you can take up to 10k, basically. And then this guy is pretty good. This is the counterplay. You can play it for 1 if you take a life. He comes into play, and if your opponent's trying to play something that's 20k or less, he just goes to the drop. So that's pretty clutch sometimes. Then for the big boys package, we play 2 of the 8-drop, 1 of the 10-drop. The 8-drop is basically, you pay 4, send a Goku and a Vegeta from your drop or your hand to the warp. And you play this guy, then this guy's a triple attacker, blocker. When he attacks, your opponent has to warp 2 battle cards from their field, ignoring barrier, and 2 cards from their hands. So, and this is triple attack, so it's pretty cool. At the end of the turn, it restands, so you can block, and then when he's rested, he can't be removed by your opponent's skill. So this is pretty good. This guy doesn't really come that often, but just in case, you play it for 5 with an activate main. And based on the amount of different colors on your energy, you trigger the effects. He has, for red, you deal 1 damage. For blue, you draw 3 cards. For green, your opponent chooses 2 cards in their hand and discards them. For yellow, choose up to 1 of your opponent's cards and switch into rest mode. And then for black, choose up to 2 of your opponent's battle cards and send them to the warp. So and then he's a 35 quadruple striker. So you can end the game with that guy. SS4 call. This guy, you just play this. Look at top 3. You can add up to 2 SS4 cards. So it could be Faf, it could be any of these guys, up to 2. So if you grab 1, you just keep that one. If you grab 2, you got to put 1 card from your hand to the bottom of the deck. Sorry guys, it's a parking lot deck profile. You know how it is. We play 3 of the thwarting because this card is busted, and you can play it here obviously because all of these guys have the same power. I don't think this guy needs an explanation. He's seen a lot of play, especially on Vegeta Santa lately, so this guy's pretty good. The one-offs, we play 1 Fu because this card's amazing, and we play 1 Faf because it's an SS4 that can be grabbed with the leader or, any of the other cards from the deck. So it's just a dual attacker. Overall, it's pretty good. We play 2 of the Mass Saiyan for those tricky situations where they're trying to kill you. If you have that energy open, especially because you on tap at the end, you can just survive. You guys already know what this card does. This is pretty good. Here's another one-off. This was just because I wanted an overwhelm for 3, which is pretty good. You're just able to overwhelm for 3 if you need to do thwarting, if you need the pieces on the warp. That way you can just overwhelm, or if you're missing a piece for the big guy or whatever, you get to look at the top 2 and grab whatever you want and then put the rest in the warp. We play 2 Zamasus just as kind of like a little tech. Just if your opponent's trying to play something, obviously since you have so many colors in your energy most of the time, you're able to play it and then simply just bounce something and then tap something and draw a card. Zamasu is a pretty good card. Obviously seen less played lately since Bojack was banned, RIP. But still a pretty good card, pretty solid card. For the super combo, we went with the Vegeta super combo. The Vegeta super combo obviously being the best for this deck. So one fun fact, the big guy and both of the big guys actually, they're not Union Fusion. They're actually, you just need to send a Goku Sano and a Vegeta Sano. So you can send one of the super combos with one of the 16Ks, whatever combination you have, or whatever combination you need. So that becomes pretty clutch when you're trying to play one of these guys. The only one that does require the same power as the thwarting, just because thwarting is a power. It is a Union Fusion, so you need the power to be the same. So that's, for thwarting, maybe a little tricky sometimes. But for these guys, you can just play them with whatever combination you have. Vegeta Super Combo, I don't think it needs an introduction. It's the filtering Super Combo, just in case you're missing a piece of something. Sometimes you just do it just to search another piece, or if you're missing the big guys or whatever case may be. Pretty good Super Combos. Since we're playing blue, obviously we're gonna play Bean. We play Bean at 4 because why not? Bean, since day one, is being a pretty dominant card. In this deck, obviously, sometimes you can do certain things and then, play a thwarting, then untap, and then go ahead and play the big guy with a 4 energy, or the big boy, the 10 drop, depending on the situation. It's just, you'd be able to do different things, and this card's so good offensively or defensively, just because you'll be able to survive. If you need to, sometimes you just simply need to defend. If your opponent, I don't know, plays a bunch of battle cards, this card can simply just save you, just one of these guys, or make your opponent, discard their entire hand. For the SCR, so since this is a fun deck, I was just playing Heron's Lineage. Heron's Lineage, just because most of the time, since you untap, you'll have that energy up. You can play Kai, you can play Pan, you can play whatever. You can play the SCR designed for this deck. I don't play because I don't have it, number 1, and number 2 because this is just a fun deck. But I think that this card can steal so many games still. People will just don't see it coming sometimes, just because they expect you to play something else, and you just can catch so many people off guard and do so many things with that. That's pretty much the deck, guys. Shout out to my boy Frank for allowing me to use this truck to do the parking lot deck profile. My boy Frank, Dylan for not laughing and not making me laugh while I'm doing this thing. Giancarlo for inventing the parking lot deck profile. and cameraman Brad. Appreciate it, man. Catch you guys on the next one.